Alright guys, real quickly I'm going to show y'all how to take apart your SKS. This is the 1969 SKS that we've been tinkering with, and I had it put up in the safe because I had to work all weekend and just getting it back out and getting ready to do some more work on it in the morning, so I figured I'd show y'all how to tear it apart. If you had a bayonet, you would open up your bayonet 90 degrees, and you would just take out your cleaning rod, sit it to the side, you won't need it. Alright, next we will open the action, make sure that it's clear, nothing's in it. We'll drop our magazine cover, pull our bolt back and release it. First thing you want to do is you're going to take this little tab right here. I don't know if I'll be able to do it with gloves on. Still a little tight. You'll pop this little lever up to the first little divot, and you can just pull your handguard assembly off. Be careful not to bend your gas tube. And you can just slide your gas piston out, set it to the side, you won't need it. And if this is the first time you've ever taken this apart and you hadn't replaced the original handguard, this is probably about as far as you'll be able to go with it. But as you can tell, since we're going to be refinishing this one and we changed the handguard, I actually drilled this pin out that was peened and brazed down where you couldn't see it. So you can just pop off your cap, and you can just put a little pin in there, finishing nail, whatever, just to hold that in place. But you take your little cap off, and then your handguard just comes right off like so. Alright, once you've taken your gas tube off, if you'll put your finger over the end of this and flip your little lever all the way up, that will relieve the tension on your op rod, and you can slide it out. It's just a little rod and spring. You know, if you're just cleaning it, you really don't need to take this out very often. Just set them to the side. Alright, now we're going to take our dust cover off. You'll rotate this lever up 90 degrees, like so, and pull out like so. And then you can just take your dust cover, you might have to push in on it to release pressure, and just slide it off to the rear. Then you have your spring. Take it straight out, and then you want to take and pull straight back on your bolt, and your charging rod, operating handle, whatever you want to call it. Stick it to the side, then you can take your bolt out. Then you want to take and push this lever back in and rotate it back down out of the way. And then we'll take our gun and turn it upside down on the table. If you can see, you must have your safety off to remove the trigger group. Just make sure your safety's down. And right here is a little pin. You want to push in with a very large amount of pressure to pop that spring loose. I'll try and maneuver around the camera where you can see it. And you'll just push in on that spring. When you do, it'll pop up your trigger group, and you can take take your trigger group out, sit it to the side. Then you can take your magazine. It just rotates up out of there. Like so. Set your magazine to the side. Then you can essentially just raise up on your stock. And if you look, it has a groove right here. You'll just sit it out there. And that's basically about as far down as you want to take it. We'll take some more parts off of this one because we're actually going to refinish it. You know, we're going to take all the metal down and get it ready to Duracoat. But that's how you take apart your SKS. Any questions, comments, or concerns, just holler at me. Well, one thing I did fail to show y'all is the spring. You usually don't have to take it apart, but if you ever do, you just grip the spring, you hold it in this hand and grip your spring, pull down, and there's a little cup that you'll slide out of the spring, and that'll release the pressure. You can take your spring apart. And this gives you this little assembly here, and you can just feed the other part of your spring assembly out of the tube. And then you've got your little cup that when it's assembled and you put your spring back on, this just, you pull down on your spring and hold it and just pop this over the end of it, and it holds everything in place.